sermon and what that afternoon to all of you. Today you must be watching here as discussed the wasteland, the four sections, the burial of the dead, the game of chess, the fire sermon and what the thunder said. First of all, students, we will understand here the significance of the wasteland. What is the significance of the wasteland? It is the first question wherever you go for the interview. और अगर आपकी बात कहीं पे टीएस इलियट पे आ गई, वेस्टलैंड पे आ गई, तो समझ लीजिए कि ये जरूर पूछेंगे. So my answer would be, your answer would be that the wasteland is actually a spiritual wasteland of you, of I, you and I, presented in a number of frustrated sexual images, which is signifying death. And it is a comic vision into the immense panorama of futility, of anarchy that is modern civilization. The poem is full of broken images, shattered images, which is also the state of modern civilization. Eliot's sense of tradition, juxtaposition, and historical imagination make even the prehistoric past contemporary. So this is what is the significance of the poem Wasteland. And it is actually a very important landmark in the history of English poetry. The reason is, it is one of the most celebrated, one of the most concerned among the professors, among the universities, around all the corners of the people who are literate in the literature field, and the most talked about poem of the 20th century. Very long poem, about 440 lines in 5 parts, entitled The Burial of the Dead, The Game of Chess, The Fire Sermon, What the Thunder Said, and yes, Death by Water. This is number 4 point. I forgot this, Death by Water. Death by Water. So इसका chronological system से याद रखिएगा, अक्सर भूल जाते हैं. The Burial of the Dead, The Game of Chess, The Fire Sermon, Death by Water, and What the Thunder Said. ये कब लिखी गई थी students? In 1921, when T.S. Eliot was in Switzerland and he was actually trying to recover after a serious breakdown in health. And this serious breakdown in health was caused by some domestic worries and personal health crisis, the mental derangement of his wife, who ultimately died in the mental hospital, and the nerve-shattering impact of the World War I. As I already told you that this poem was first published in serial form in the magazine The Criterion in 1922. And later on, when the Wasteland was published in the book form, Eliot added some notes into it, and in this way admitted that the poem is actually difficult to follow because of so much symbols and symbolic reasons. And when it got first published, it actually invited a lot of adverse criticism. It was considered a series of slightly related separate poems. किसी न्यूज़पेपर ने कुछ कहा, किसी क्रिटिक्स ने कुछ कहा, किसी स्कॉलर्स ने कुछ इसके बारे में कहा, लेकिन lot of adverse criticism was to be taken into consideration when this poem got published in 1922. And with the passage of time, with the passing of time, the poem started getting appreciation from all corners. Tributes were being paid to Mr. Eliot and to his remarkable achievement, and beautiful commentaries by great critics like F.R. Lewis, by Kenneth Brooks. They actually gave a lot of interpretations when they actually came to know about the real meaning, the real significance of the wasteland. And as a result, it came to be regarded as a highly condensed epic of the modern age. And it will not be an exaggeration, it would not be an hyperbole to say that the wasteland is still the most influential poem of our age. Now we will discuss here what is actually important for you students to understand, that the wasteland is written due to certain reasons, and it has a mythical background. And all these things came from which place? How it was composed? So the wasteland was composed when T.S. Eliot had been reading Jessie Weston's book From Ritual to Romance. Jessie Weston की एक बुक थी जिसका नाम था From Ritual to Romance, and James Fraser's famous book The Golden Bough, B-O-U-G-H. And somewhere T.S. Eliot has himself acknowledged that he was very much influenced by these two books, or the anthropology and the ancient and the primitive myths and the legends, which is actually forming the mythical background to the poem, which is all derived from these books, which is being read by T.S. Eliot. अगर कोई आपसे पूछे कि लीजेंड ऑफ ग्रेल एंड द फिशर किंग कहां से आया है, सो इट इज फ्रॉम मिस वेस्टन्स बुक, मिस जेसी वेस्टन की बुक जो फ्रॉम रिचुअल टू रोमांस है, वहां से आया है लीजेंड ऑफ द ग्रेल एंड द फिशर किंग. और गोल्डन बाव, और जो गोल्डन बाव है जेम्स फ्रेजर का, वहां से क्या आया है? ही हैज डिराइव्ड अ लॉट ऑफ इमेंस नॉलेज ऑफ the vegetation and the fertility myths and rituals. And unless and until a student will not understand these fundamentals, it will be very difficult to understand the poem, because they are the objective correlative for the poet's emotions, that it would be worthwhile to examine the details of the wasteland. The first to be discussed here, to make your concept very clear, is the Grail legend, which I told you, which came from the Jessie Weston's book. What is this Holy Grail? Holy Grail है क्या? It is basically a cup. It is basically a dish, एक बर्तन है. और इसको medieval legend में associate किया जाता था with the adventures of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. This Holy Grail legend is basically a medieval legend which is associated with the adventures of the King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. And this grail or cup or plate, which is actually used by the Christ for his last supper, जिसमें कि उसका blood इकट्ठा किया गया when he was crucified. And so it became a holy name, it became a symbol of holiness. So आप किसी भी चर्च में जाइए तो देखिए वो एक होली कप और डिश होता है जिसमें से आपको वो दिया जाता है when at the time of you go into the church. So this has acquired some medicinal and miraculous properties, and so it became an object of devotion and worship. And so the chapels for it came to be built in the several countries, and its worship was organized. So this is the story behind it. एक चीज मैं आपको इंपॉर्टेंट बताऊं कि ऐसा माना जाता है कि जो ये ग्रेल था, ये जो कप है, ये खो गया उस चैपल से कहीं पे. So it is generally believed that the lost grail sometimes appeared in the sky as a floating saucer of great beauty and splendor. But it could only be seen by a knight of virginal purity. And this Tennyson has treated this theme in his poem Ideals of the King. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ये बात है नेट एसेंट्रिक कि कौन सी चीज, कौन सी स्टोरी कहां से कहां रिलेट है. देखिए मैंने आपको बताया कि ये जो स्टोरी लाइन है, ये फ्लोटिंग सॉसर ऑफ ब्यूटी एंड स्प्लेंडर विच कैन बी सीन, जो कि अपनी आंखों से देख सकता है, वो नाइट ऑफ वर्जिनल प्योरिटी. एंड दिस थीम वाज टेकन बाय टेनिसन इन हिज पोएम आइडियल्स ऑफ द किंग, मेकिंग सर गालाहेड the knight of King Arthur's round table as a leader who is destined to succeed in his holy mission. Now we will go for the Fisher King. Fisher King भी इसी जैसी वेस्टर्न के बुक से उसने लिया है. वैसे द फिशर किंग का जो एपिसोड है, उसका जो लैंड था, इट बिकेम डेजोलेट. सो ऐसा माना जाता है कि इन द कोर्स ऑफ क्वेस्ट, पार्सिफल, PARSIFAL, जो क्वेस्टर था, ही वॉज अ क्वेस्टर, एंड द अदर पीपल, द फॉलोअर्स, द एडवेंचरर्स, दे somehow came to a country ruled over by a prince who is known as Fisher King. ढूंढते 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 उस सॉसर को वो किसी तरीके से भटकते हुए फिशर किंग के प्रिंस में, उसमें, उसके किंगडम में आ गए. एंड ये वो जगह थी जहां पे ग्रेल वर्शिप हैड बीन एंशियंटली, बहुत पहले से चलन में थी, वोग में थी. एंड अ टेम्पल नोन एज चैपल पेरिलस आज भी है वहां, लेकिन कैसा है? ब्रोकन, डायलिपिटेटेड, टूटा फूटा सा, ऐसा लग रहा है रो रहा है वो अपनी कहानी लेकर के, एज अ मोर्नफुल मेमोरियल, जो कि एक समय में अच्छा था, अब नहीं है. तो ऐसा माना जाता है दैट दिस लॉस्ट ग्रेल वॉज हिडन इन अ चैपल. एट दैट टाइम द किंग हिमसेल्फ had become a physical wreck, impotent, as people used to whisper, of a sin committed by his soldiery in outraging the chastity of a group of nuns who were attached to this Grail chapel. So the impotency of the Fisher King was reflected sympathetically in the land of which he was the head and even the ruler. So consequently what happened? It became dry, it became barren, it became haunted, wanted of famine, and the king, waiting now for hope, hoping against hope, despite he was ill, कि एक दिन ऐसा सवेरा आएगा कि कोई नाइट आएगा of the pure soul who would visit this kingdom which has been star crossed, जिसमें गलत काम हुआ है. He will go to the chapel Perilous, answer the questions there and solve the riddle that what should we do. और इस तरह से वो अपने कृत्य को साफ कर पाएगा, अपने सिंफुल बॉडी को, which would purge it and renew its health and energy. And it was also hoped that this rebirth of the king would be actually followed by the life-giving rains to the parched land, जो कि पानी के लिए तरस गई है, and the thirsty kingdom, which would once more enjoy its earlier fertility. जो fertility पहले थी वो अब फिर से enjoy कर पाएगी अगर ऐसा होता है तो. So after getting into the details, the last nutshell about this wasteland and the symbolic significance is कि ये जो wasteland है, ये जो mythical wasteland है, किसकी? Fisher King की. It is symbolizing what? It is symbolizing the contemporary decay, the contemporary spiritual sterility. जहां की ये जो बीमार किंग है, he symbolizes the sick humanity. आज कॉन्टेम्परेरी में मनुष्य बीमार है, मानसिक बीमार है, हर आदमी डॉक्टर के पास दौड़ रहा है, डिप्रेशन में है, एंजाइटी में है. देखिए 100 साल पहले उसने इस पोएम में लिखा था, आज 2022 आने वाला है, 1922. द सिचुएशन हैज बिकम more and more deep rooted what we are studying, the 100 years old poetry. The sick king, symbolizing the sick humanity, and this sickness results, as in the case of Fisher King, from its sexual sins. Sex, what is sex? It is a source of life which has been denied its proper function. जिसका जो proper function है उसको deny कर दिया गया है, उसको क्रॉस कर दिया गया है, and it has been degraded to mere animal copulation, and this sexual perversion has led to a spiritual death of humanity, and spiritual health can only be regained only through penance, suffering and self discipline. अगर आपने ऐसा किया है तो it can be covered only through penance, suffering and self discipline. आज आप देखते होंगे, आज जमाने में ज्यादातर लोग देखिए कहां भाग रहे हैं, मेडिटेशन में, मंदिरों में, मस्जिदों में, किताबें पढ़ना शुरू कर रहे हैं, समाज सेवा कर रहे हैं. Why? The reason is this: they are trying to come out of that grievances. इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है अगर हम साफ हैं मन से, गलत कामों से. सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन अगर हमारे अंदर अपब्रिंगिंग है, अच्छी पढ़ाई लिखाई है, अच्छा हमारे अंदर उपदेश है, अच्छे गुरु मिले हैं, सो वी विल बी नॉट सफरिंग, वी विल बी लिविंग विद सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन. नाउ अगेन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट continuation, and the person is Tiresias. Tiresias. Tiresias कौन था? Can anybody tell? And उसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या था? ये एक बहुत ही बड़ा फिगर है. He is actually a central figure in this poem. Tiresias, Tiresias. And he is actually a spectator of the modern wasteland. वो अपनी खुली आंखों से मॉडर्न वेस्टलैंड को देख रहा है, और जो टिरिसिस देख रहा है, इट इज एक्चुअली द सब्सटेंस ऑफ दिस होल पोएम. और इस शख्स का जो सिग्निफिकेंस है वो बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स है, बहुत वैरीड है. बिकॉज अगर हम इतिहास में चले जाएं, इफ वी गो इनटू द हिस्ट्री, टिरिसिस is connected with the story of King Oedipus, and King Oedipus was of Thebes, which is clearly and demonstrably the classical legend of a wasteland, and with striking resemblances to the drought means सूखा पड़ जाना, in the sin-ridden kingdom of the medieval Fisher King, जो मैंने अभी आपको फिशर किंग की कहानी बताई. So, what was the story of the King Oedipus and the wasteland? टिरिसिस को इंट्रोड्यूस करके टीएस एलियट ने अपनी पोएम के मिथिकल फ्रेम को बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेट कर दिया है, और दूसरी तरफ से he has universalized the central significance by bringing home to us that the sin involved in the violation of the sanctity of sex has in all ages and countries led to ultimately decay and generation. Oedipus unwittingly kills his father and marries his own mother, and so calls down upon his innocent head the curse of the gods, in the form of plague, in the form of epidemic, destruction. So Tiresias, who is the blind prophet, उसको दिखता नहीं है, उसको बुलाया जाता है, he is summoned, and the king compels him to tell him, and he reveals the shocking truth कि what has happened. So conspiracy of circumstances ऐसी थी कि जो किंग था slowly and steadily drives to the realization of this horrible truth कि वो क्या कर बैठा. Nothing remains for the king but the duty of self-mutilation, self-exile, self-penance, and eventually resulted in spiritual calm and inner illumination. लेकिन the symbolic significance of Tiresias is much above. He is represented in the wasteland as a bisexual. He is blind, but he has the gift of prophecy. He has the gift of immortality. Immortality. There are so many stories. There are so many stories which account for the characteristics. और एक स्टोरी के अनुसार ये जो टीरिसिस थीबियन सूथसेयर है, in his youth, when he was young, he saw the goddess Athena bathing naked in a pond, and in the great anger the goddess struck him blind. But since the mother of this soothsayer was a friend of that Athena, she bestowed him the gift of prophecy as a compensation. एक कहानी तो ये थी इसके पीछे. एक कहानी और इसके साथ चलती है कि टीरिसिस ने कभी एक बार देखा two snakes copulating and disturbed them with his stick, and so the snakes in anger transformed him into a woman. And after many years, he again disturbed another pair of snakes copulating and was transformed into a man once again. So he experienced both as a man and as a woman. बाद में उससे क्वेश्चन किया गया, और क्वेश्चन किसने किया? जोब एंड जूनो ने. और क्वेश्चन किया क्या? As to whether man is more passionate or woman is more passionate, because you have both the experiences. So he declared that woman is more passionate. ऐसा बोलने पे Juno was angry and he struck him blind. But Zeus or Jove compensated him by conferring upon him the twin gifts of prophecy and immortality. So देखिए, दो कहानी मैंने आपको बता दिया जिसके पीछे चलती है. So इसका अल्टीमेटली सिंबॉलिक सिग्निफिकेंस क्या हुआ कि टीरिसिस वो कैरेक्टर है जो पास्ट का भी है, जो प्रेजेंट का भी है, एंड इज एक्चुअली अ लिंक बिटवीन द वेस्टलैंड ऑफ एडिपस एंड किंगफिशर, as well as the link between the past and the present. क्योंकि उसने सब देखा है, सब सफर किया है. He is bisexual. He has a lot of experience that any other normal man or woman, and his physical blindness is more than compensated for by his prophetic vision. He is the enlightened ghost of the age, watching the depressing spectacle of modern humanity, which has fallen from the ancient heights and forgotten old values, old sanctities, old customs, anything. Now, Tiresias, we can very well say now that he is a complex person. He has a many-sided persona, and he provides whatever unity the poem may be discovered to have. but for his presence throughout the poem would have become a phantasmagoria, a nightmare, a medley of scenes and meaningless snatches of talk, almost overwhelming in its confused impression. Last is the vegetation and the fertility myths. The vegetation and the fertility myths. यहां पे मैं 1 मिनट का ब्रेक लूंगा स्टूडेंट्स, और मुझे अब तक बताएं कि अभी तक जो हमने आपको पढ़ाया वो आपको कैसा लगा. जस्ट मैसेज मी सो दैट हम कंटिन्यू उसी प्रकार से करेंगे. जस्ट मैसेज मी स्टूडेंट्स. Jatin, you want something about something on Geronician, and it is very interesting and very understandable and also very net eccentric, sir. Yes, students, I only teach net eccentric classes because to beat about the bush, we don't have time, and I don't even prefer to teach uh, just MA English. So the time is very precious, the exam is very precious, and so as far as Jatin you are concerned, you want me to teach something about Geroshan. Spelling mistake hai. It is, write it down, Geroshan. Geroshan. Clear. So I have read this poem long back when I was in MA English, but because Jatin has just requested me to give something about this poem, तो जितना मुझे याद आ रहा है मैं थोड़ा सा आपको देने की कोशिश करता हूं और उसके बाद फिर से उस पे हम आ जाते हैं. सी गेरोनिशन जो पोएम है टीएस इलियट की, इट इज disillusion. Geronian is disillusioned owing to spiritual depravity, and he has thereby, मतलब कह सकते हैं इसी वजह से, he has no faith in God, no faith in God. And if you will read the original poem, you will find that Geronian has written this line, "Here I am, an old man in a dry month, being read to by a boy waiting for rain." I'll repeat these two lines of Geronian. Here I am, an old man in a dry month, being read to by a boy waiting for rain. And Geronian is painfully aware of the futility of his intellectual life. The Jew in this poem symbolizes the modern commercial civilization, which invariably brings about wars. It is actually a general picture of ruin and loss of the zest for life, which is evoked by means of the particular symbols, particular images, and the loss of vitality, emotional zest for life, the loss of hope, which actually characterizes the condition of average humanity, which in the poem is represented by Geronian. The spiritual emptiness and the physical aridity are suggested by that line which I just told you, "Here I am, an old man in a dry month." The certainty of final destruction and the despair of the unbeliever are epitomized. उसको epitomize किया है Geronian ने इन लाइनों में. The tiger springs in the new year, us he devours. निकल जाना, divorce, D-E-V-O-U-R-S. The tiger springs in the new year, us he devours. So T.S. Eliot's mystical faith is declared in the 4 poems which I have already taught you, which you must have read also after completing the first lecture. So students and Jatin, I think it is more than enough for you to have a small detail about this poem. इससे ज्यादा की जरूरत है नहीं. Thank you so much, Jatin. I hope my students are always happy because they have so much faith in me, and that trust only, that faith only gives me the energy, and that is why I always say, give me the result, and you are the people, you are the students who will make this temple of education a bigger temple of education day by day. And a good news to all my students that last week this OSN Academy, a sole proprietorship company, now became OSN Academy Private Limited. This is again a one step ahead. अब आप जो हमारी वीडियोस देखेंगे YouTube पे, वहां पे सब जगह आपको दिखाई पड़ेगा OSN Academy Private Limited with the directorship now. Yes, just 1 second. So we come back to the wasteland, and yes, the vegetation and the fertility myths. The vegetation and the fertility myths. See, as I told you, there were two great books, The Golden Bough and From the Ritual to Romance. इन दोनों को पढ़ने के बाद टीएस एलियट को यह रियलाइज हुआ कि all the primitive nature myths, they actually follow a common pattern. और वो common pattern क्या है? They follow a common pattern. Death के बाद क्या होता है? Rebirth, और rebirth के बाद फिर death. And this recurrent pattern centers around the cyclic changes in nature. तो विंटर को क्या कहते हैं? The winter is the death of the year. It is followed again by the spring, the rebirth, when there are strings of life in all the nature once again. There is the loss of land's fertility in winter, but with the life-giving rain, life and vitality is once again born with this rain. Thus, this process was reenacted in a vegetation god, और उस god का नाम है Osiris, vegetation god. And this vegetation god Osiris was stuck with corn grains and was buried in the earth, which symbolizes the death of the vegetation god. फिर बाद में क्या हुआ? The grains sprouted, again symbolizing the rebirth of the god. And this vegetation ceremony has been referred to in the opening lines of the Burial of the Dead. Symbolically, यही जो recurrent pattern है birth का, death का, stood for the spiritual death as a result of sin and sexual perversion, spiritual regeneration. And this entire recurrent pattern has been taken over in the Christian myth, in the birth of Christ, in his crucifixion and his resurrection. तो जैसे मैंने आपको ऑसिरिस का नाम बताया, वेजिटेशन गॉड, इसी तरह दो और हैं, एडोनिस एंड एटिस. और आपका हो गया ये और ये तीन. Who are these three? These were also corn gods. They were all associated with the vegetation ceremonies. Clear? So this is what was the vegetation myths, the vegetation fertility myth. Now we will move ahead. Any questions, students? You can message me here. please name some important authors, poets to read. Jatin, I am 100% sure that आपके क्वेश्चन से मुझे समझ में आ गया कि ये आपने क्वेश्चन हमसे क्यों पूछा है. And the only reason, Jatin, is which I have written yesterday or day before yesterday when you had messaged me. Just check your WhatsApp. Just check your WhatsApp, and my answer is, I'll just tell you. Now read, I have written here. I got your question very clearly, and this was already discussed with you and me on the WhatsApp, and I have given you again the answer to this question. So it would be good enough that if you just take it very seriously. So burial of the dead, हमने इतना डिटेल्स में कभी सोचा नहीं था कि मैं लाइव में पढ़ाऊंगा, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं मेरे अंदर एक आवाज ये आई कि टीएस इलियट और डब्ल्यू बी एट्स और भी आगे चल करके जिसमें हमें ऐसा फील होगा कि ये आपको आना चाहिए बहुत अच्छे से, तो ये हम इसीलिए आपको इतना टाइम इसमें दे पा रहे हैं. कहीं ना कहीं से हम लोग टाइम को कहीं मैनेज करेंगे आगे, इसको जो ज्यादा दे पा रहे हैं. देखिए, जो फर्स्ट सेक्शन है वेस्टलैंड का, जैसा मैंने आपको सीरियल में बताया था, इज नोन एज द बरियल ऑफ द डेड, जिसका कि मतलब होता है स्पिरिचुअल डिकेडेंस. द बरियल ऑफ द डेड का क्या मीनिंग है? स्पिरिचुअल डिकेडेंस एंड द डेथ ऑफ द वेस्टलैंडर्स. एंड दिस टाइटल refers to the burial of the dead fertility, and secondly the burial service of the Christian church. In both the cases, rebirth is the outcome of death. Rebirth क्या है? It is the outcome of death. But in the modern wasteland, the citizens are spiritually dead. Any idea of regeneration is very painful to them, क्योंकि वो खुद ही spiritually dead हैं. तो जो उनको अगर हम आइडिया भी देते हैं कि देखिए रीजनरेशन है, तो वो उनके लिए बहुत दुखदाई हो जाता है और बहुत पेनफुल होता है. और अगर आप ओरिजिनल लाइंस को देखें, अगर आपके सामने वेस्टलैंड की ओरिजिनल लाइन आप स्टूडेंट्स लोग आपके सामने है, तो आप देखिएगा उसमें लिखा है इन द इनिशियल लाइंस कि जो टिरिसिस है, ही इज द प्रोटैगनिस्ट. ही रिफ्लेक्ट्स ऑन द स्पिरिचुअल स्टेरिलिटी इन द वेस्टलैंड, एंड द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल is actually the cruelest month because it brings birth to flowers from the land. Flowers imply rebirth since April is the month of rebirth. But since the land is waste, spring does not bring any joy with it. April mixes memory with desire, the memory of the death of fertility gods, along with the desire of rebirth. And in April, the life-giving rain stirs the inner roots into the activity, and lilacs bloom all over. The roots pierce through the barren womb of the earth and bring new life. Winter stands for physical comfort and joy. The inhabitants would rather sleep away through winter, dull, warm, and inactive. For the modern man who is spiritually dead, April, which is the season of rebirth, is the cruelest month. He likes death better than rebirth because rebirth stirs up the spiritual side of the mind and makes him desirous of his blissful seat in heaven. Clear? So this was the nutshell of the burial of the dead. इससे ज्यादा की जरूरत आपको नेट पढ़ाई के लिए बिल्कुल नहीं है. एमए इंग्लिश थोड़ी है कि इसमें आपको डिटेल्स पढ़ना है। अब आपका काम है कि इसको आप अच्छे से, बहुत अच्छे से, जितना टाइम हो उसको आप निभा सकते हैं। द सेकेंड इज, I had told you the game of chess. Jatin, have you read the message? Yes, game of chess, second section. The theme of game of chess is the sterility and meaninglessness of life without love in the wasteland. And in this section, the poet indicates the failure of sex relationship in the modern world. Sex, which has become a purely physical kind of entertainment, and its moral and social purpose has been defeated, has been lost totally. Thomas Middleton used the device of a game of chess in his play Woman Beware Women, where the game is played, this game is played to hide the seduction of a young girl by a noble man. And the opening lines in the second section describes a room in London, which is a gorgeous room and it smells of voluptuousness. The paintings which adorn the walls refer to love and even rape themes. The lady of the house is known as the lady of situations, who is waiting for her lover who arrives after some time. And her routine is aimless. And she's just going through life without any objective, without any purpose. जतिन, अभी हम लोग पहुंचे कहां हैं वहां पे? अभी तो हम लोग सेकंड पार्ट में हैं। आपने ये क्वेश्चन हमसे पहले ही पूछ लिया। दिस इज द सेकेंड पार्ट। आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है वो तो लास्ट पार्ट है। अभी हम लोग लास्ट पार्ट तक पहुंचे कहां हैं? जब पहुंचेंगे तो बताएंगे ही। एंड द सीन shifts to a tavern where two ladies are discussing sex. The idea is that marriage is meant for regulation and discipline of sex instinct. The poet describes the lady's bedroom with all its sensuous luxury. The lady of the rock, जिसका नाम है पोएम में बेलाडोना, sat in a royal chair which looked like a polished throne, and the reflection of the throne fell on the marble floor, and the looking glass was supported by pillars which had figures of grapes, fruits carved on them. One of the pillars had the figure of Cupid hanging from it. A smaller version of Cupid could be seen hanging from behind the bigger one. The flames of 7 candles burning in the chandelier are being reflected in the mirror, and their light adds to the glitter of the jewels of the lady which stood in the satin boxes. The open vials of ivory and the colored glass of perfumes were opened. The makeup of the lady could be seen with various creams and powders, and the fresh air from the window disturbed this fragrance, and after mingling with it, went up and flattened the flames, and the smoke rose up to the ceiling and disturbed the ornamental designs of the ceiling. Then you will also find the description of the firewood, how the flames are appearing orange and green, and in a very dim light was seen the figure of a swimming dolphin, a picture of Philomela, very important, a picture of Philomela, rudely raped by a tyrannous king, hung above the mantel, and the many other carved figures adorn the walls. The room is quiet, the room is lonely, and when suddenly footsteps are heard and the lady sitting in the room startles and starts brushing her hair in order to look presentable to the visitor. So this is the crux of the game of chess. मैंने बहुत डिटेल में बता दिया जिसकी जरूरत नहीं थी. Jatin, you heard my answer? So there are 5 sections, students: the burial of the dead and the game of chess, the complete wasteland. In spite that it was a big thing to complete so much in detail in this specified period of time, yet I think I could manage it well and you could understand it well. So the next and the final lecture of T.S. Eliot would be on the other 3 sections: the fire sermon, death by water, and what the thunder said. And in explaining these 3 sections, I will also explain you in brief J. Alfred Prufrock, that is an important poem. So I'm sure that you have a lot of homework now with this magnum opus explanation, magnum opus work, epical work of T.S. Eliot, and study well to achieve well. हमारा स्लोगन ही है ड्रीम बिग टू अचीव बिग. जब आप बड़ा सोचेंगे तभी बड़ा मिलेगा, छोटा सोचेंगे तो छोटा भी नहीं मिलेगा. इस फिलॉसफी में, इस फिलॉसफी से बहुत कुछ लाइफ में मिलेगा आपको, और ये मेरा तो इतने सालों का एक्सपीरियंस है कि जब हम बड़ा डिजर्व करते हैं तो बड़ा अचीव करते हैं. नहीं तो लाइफ इज टफ, कंपटीशन इज हाई, यू हैव टू हैव द फायर इन योर हार्ट. सो हमेशा मैं एक ही बात कहूंगा, फायर इन योर हार्ट. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, एंड Jatin, I'm happy that you could follow my advice, and after the class you can consult me on the WhatsApp. Thank you so much students. Have a nice this thing. मैं इतना पढ़ाने के बाद इतना थक गया हूं कि मुझे याद ही नहीं आ रहा है कि वीकेंड है. सो हैव अ नाइस वीकेंड. एक बात और कहूंगा आपसे कि हमारे YouTube चैनल पे जाइएगा. जो हमारा एक 2-3 वीडियोस मैंने डाले हैं नए बैच के, आपने ध्यान दिया होगा. हमने नया बैच जो शुरू किया है उसके 2 लेक्चर्स हो गए हैं, और वो फास्ट ट्रैक लेक्चर्स हैं. उसमें एक हमारा पहला लेक्चर भी था जिसमें मैंने स्टूडेंट्स को बताया था कि 13 तारीख को शुरू हो रहा है. तो चूंकि स्टूडेंट्स हमें आपसे वो कोलाज नहीं मिला जो मैंने कहा था कि उसको कोलाज को मैं बना करके आपकी 60-90 सेकेंड्स को मैं बच्चों तक ये पहुंचाना चाहता हूं कि लाइफ टेक्नोलॉजी इज वेरी सिंपल एंड इट इज बेटर देन द क्लास, बिकॉज in the live classes you are getting much content and you are able to watch it anytime according to your own sweet will. So वो तो चलिए जब आपका मन करेगा करिएगा, जो 60-90 सेकेंड्स का मैंने जो आपसे कहा था. एक काम जो आप कर सकते हैं इमीडिएट वो कर दीजिए. आप सभी स्टूडेंट्स जो हमको सुन रहे हैं हमारे उन 3 लेक्चर्स पे, जो एक 13 तारीख का जिसमें मैंने लिखा है दिस सेकेंड बैच जो आने वाला है 13 तारीख का, और उसके साथ साथ जो 2 लेक्चर्स हमने दिए हैं 15-20 मिनट के, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं सिर्फ आप अपने एक्सपीरियंस को शेयर कर दीजिए कि स्टूडेंट्स, आई एम अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ डॉक्टर अग्रवाल एंड what I am feeling in the last 1.5 months बस और कुछ नहीं, कि बच्चों के मन के अंदर जो घबराहट है वो कम से कम चली जाए, और वो जब देखेंगे कि इतने सारे बच्चों ने सर के लिखा है तो निश्चित रूप से ये अच्छी चीज है। तो हो सकता है कि वो जो कोलाज वाली चीज है वो हम लोग बाद में कर लें, ये तो इमीडिएट बच्चों को पता चल जाएगा, क्योंकि गांव से बच्चे जो हैं, छोटे शहरों से हैं और इवन बड़े शहरों से भी हैं, सबको काफी मिथ है और काफी मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग है, और कोई इनको बताने वाला नहीं है, और उनको हमसे बात करने में डर लगता है। तो इस वजह से वो मैसेज देख लेंगे तो इट विल बी अ ग्रेट हेल्प टू दोज स्टूडेंट्स हु आर एक्चुअली सफरिंग। ओके स्टूडेंट्स, गुड इवनिंग।